Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in another Fortnite video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the best exponential settings to use here in Fortnite. And so they took out legacy settings, meaning that the only settings you can use now are linear or exponential. So I wanted to make an updated video for exponential settings. I know a lot of you guys are talking about it, and a lot of you guys are going to be switching to exponential. So I wanted to make another video showing you guys the settings that I would recommend if you guys do play on exponential. And real quick, up on the screen I have the V-Buck giveaway winner of this week. I'm going to be giving away V-Bucks every single week, so if you guys want a chance to enter, and if you guys want to win some free V-Bucks, you guys can buy some skins in Fortnite, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you guys do turn on those post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video. And lastly, comment down below either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And also, if you guys like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go down to the bottom, click on support a creator, type in my code. My creator code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to give you guys the best exponential settings to use here in Fortnite. And also, if you guys play on linear, or if you play on legacy and you're just now deciding whether to use legacy or exponential, I'm going to give you guys some very good reasons to actually in fact switch to exponential. And as well, I'm going to be showing you guys the exponential settings that now I am using. So when it comes to exponential, it is really good. Obviously, when it comes to picking between linear and exponential, obviously exponential is going to have a little bit more accuracy when it comes to range, because the analog stick movement that you have is a lot smaller, which I'll get into why that's so important a little bit later. But here are just the settings that I currently have for exponential settings. So my building and my editing is both on a 2.1. I just have a consistent building and editing. I think I've seen people and a lot of pros go anywhere between like a 2 and a 2.2. I haven't really seen too many people be on like a crazy high, maybe like a 2.5, and I really haven't seen too many people down at like a 1.8. So anywhere between, I would say, a 2 and also a 2.2 is going to be ideal when it comes to choosing your building and editing sensitivity. And also to keep in mind when it comes to choosing your X and Y sensitivity, that also has an effect on your building and editing. So if you play on like a 30% horizontal and vertical, then having a 2 building sensitivity is going to be a lot slower than if you had a 60 or 70% on a horizontal and vertical, and like a 2x on your building. It's going to be a lot faster on those settings. So your X and Y sensitivity directly correlate how fast your building and editing is. So going down here, going into my X and Y, I have a 48% and a 44. I've also liked 50 and 48. I personally, what I've looked at other people and their settings, and what I liked as well, is having just a little bit higher X sensitivity. This is going to be very good when turning around, when you're trying to go for flick shots. Having a little bit higher X sensitivity is going to give you a boost in that category. So I really did like a 48% and a 46%. I also liked a 50% and a 48 and a 48 and 46. So I mean, anywhere in between that range, I really did like. I'm not sure exactly which one I'd want to use, but in between that range, I really did like. And on linear settings, I had a very consistent 48% and 48%. But when I was playing on exponential, I did like to have just a little bit higher X sensitivity than Y. It helps me when it comes to flick shots, and also when it comes to going for certain movements. It just feels a little bit better in my opinion. And also a lot of pros and a lot of players who play on exponential do the exact same thing as well. So having a little bit higher X sensitivity is just going to be something that a lot of people do. You might not like it and just want to go consistent with a consistent sensitivity for X and Y. That's also going to work as well, but I really do like having a little bit higher X than a Y sensitivity. So next, going into their aiming down sight sensitivity. And when it comes to boost, I have everything off. I don't run any boost. I'm pretty sure just about nobody else runs boost. There's some people that might run like a 2 or 3%, which is basically none. I don't rock any boost at all. So when you're looking at your horizontal or vertical ADS sensitivity, I have mine both on 15%. And I do play on a little bit higher than on linear settings, because on linear, when it comes to range, it's a lot more difficult than on exponential or on legacy settings. So in exponential, I will raise it up a little bit. I believe on linear, I'm on like a 12%. I'm either on like a 12% or 11%. I was kind of in that range. But on exponential settings, I did raise it up to a 15, because when you are on exponential, your small analog stick movements are a lot more precise. You're able to raise it up while still being very accurate, even more so than being on linear settings. So I do recommend having a higher ADS sensitivity than you would if you played on linear. So anywhere from like a 14 to like a 17%. In my dead zones, I do currently now have my Elite 1 controller, but the stick drift is just absolutely crazy. So my dead zones are way higher. And let me repeat that, it is much higher dead zones than I normally play on. I usually play on maybe like an 11 and like an 8. But with my stick drift just being insane, I do raise my dead zones accordingly, because otherwise I would be all over the place and I wouldn't be able to hit a shot whatsoever. And I guess the last setting is going to be look dampening time. And for this setting, some people might play on like a 10, 11. I personally just have it off. Some people do like it, and I do recommend having a little bit of one for linear settings. But for exponential, it really doesn't make too much of a difference. If you do like it, then go for it. If you don't, then you don't. And also I have the foot controller on. So those are going to be my current settings for exponential. I really do like these settings, and I would give these a try if I were you. If you are switching to exponential, or if you're just looking for some new settings, if you decide to switch from linear to exponential or from legacy to exponential, these are just some very good settings to keep in mind. And also I want to tell you guys some reasons why you'd want to switch to exponential versus legacy. Obviously, the first one's going to be long range capability. Your long range shots and accuracy is going to be far superior on exponential settings than on legacy settings. So if you feel like the long range capability of your game, so if you're playing a lot of duos and squads and you feel like long range is something that you really need to have, playing on exponential will definitely be the best option to choose. And when I was looking at people who are pro players and I guess more competitive arena type players, a lot of those players do tend to be on exponential settings for a good reason, because on exponential you do have that boost on accuracy so when it comes to late game, being able to pick people off of rotations, being able to get those shots in when needed with your assault rifle is going to be crucial. So if you guys are a competitive player in this game, if you guys play a lot of arena, if you guys play a lot of, I guess cash cups really aren't in the game anymore, if you're just a competitive player in general, then I would recommend playing on exponential versus on linear. There is still some people who play competitive on linear, but for the most part, the people who are the most successful do play on exponential settings. So if you're a competitive player, 100% would try out exponential, would give it a really good try. And also another advantage, and it kind of ties into the first advantage when I talked about your long range accuracy. Really, when it comes to aiming down your sights in general, your tracking is going to feel a lot stickier and a lot stronger. So it doesn't matter if it's close range, mid range, or long range, it is going to be feeling better on exponential. I think I wanted to clear that up because when it comes to hitting long range shots, that definitely is a boost for exponential. But when it comes to any range, being able to hit aiming down sight shots is going to be crucial, and it's going to be a big advantage on exponential. And so a reason why you maybe not want to switch to exponential and maybe stay on linear settings, if you feel like you're the type of player who plays extremely aggressive and flick shots are your thing, playing on linear is going to allow you, based on the linear curve, on how the movement analog stick kind of registers, how everything works. With linear settings, it is much easier to hit flick shots in exponential. So if you are the type of player to play extremely aggressive, you like to W key everyone no matter what, no long range at all, you just grab a launch pad, grab a grapple gun, grab a drum gun, and you're just a W key type of player, then you probably would rather want to stay on linear settings, because when it comes to flick shots with your shotgun, linear is going to be the superior one as opposed to exponential. Obviously, you can still hit flick shots very nice on exponential settings, but linear is going to be the best of everything. Same with linear when it comes to AR shots. You're still able to hit long range on linear, but it is going to be way more difficult than with exponential. And same thing with flick shots. You're still able to hit flick shots pretty consistently on exponential, but linear is going to be your go-to and just the best option overall if you are the very aggressive type player. So there can be a lot of reasons on which would rather play on linear settings, or if you'd rather play on exponential settings. I think it really 100% when it comes to any sort of sensitivity settings, I guess really the aim assist that you choose. It all really comes down to your playstyle. If you feel like you're a super overly aggressive player, then linear might be the best move. But if you're kind of like a best of both worlds type of thing, maybe you're just like a casual player, or you're the type of player who kind of likes both. You kind of like the rush a little bit, but you also don't like to do it every single gunfight at all times, then I think exponential is going to be the best setting for, I feel like, most players and most casual players. I don't know. It really comes down to personal preference. I think a lot of you guys do play on linear settings, But definitely let me know in the comments down below if you guys play on linear or exponential. I'll definitely make a poll, but I'm just kind of curious on what you guys like to play. Well, obviously, if you're probably watching an exponential video, you guys are looking to switch. But I definitely am kind of curious on what the numbers are, if a lot of people are still playing on linear settings, or if a lot of you guys are switching over to exponential. But with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do hit that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.